Here to help us break down El Salvador's roster man by man is James Sharman, who joins me from BMO. James, take it away. Go ahead. Every man, El Salvador, go.
Brian Tamakis, Mario Gonzalez. Hey, after you, Timmy. After you.
That's not bad. So it feels like, and correct me if I'm wrong here, it feels like this could be a 10 men behind the ball thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, El Salvador can defend. They're very organized. They're yet to concede so far this qualifying campaign, albeit 2 games at home. But they did play the U.S., of course, a good offensive team. But they're going to sit deep. They're going to try and kill this game off, which is going to be tough for Canada, obviously missing Alphonso Davies. But they know what to expect. You know, El Salvador, they're a pretty young team as well. Lots of energy. They got a lot of pace as well. But they will sit back and try and clog up that midfield.
All right, so no Alphonso Davies is obviously huge. Can Canada draw from that Gold Cup where they played without him?
I think that's a really important tournament, the Gold Cup, for that reason. Missing some star players, including, of course, Davies. They showed they can play. They have got depth that in previous generations they just simply did not have. And to get to the semi-finals, to come so close against Mexico, you know, losing that one at the death and injury time without these stars gave this team a lot of confidence. And obviously, listen, they're better off with Alphonso Davies. We know that. But they can play well without him. And maybe it'll allow someone like Tajon Buchanan, who's on that cusp of stardom himself, to really step up and fill that void out wide for Canada. So I think it's going to be a fascinating match tonight. Can they unlock El Salvador without their best player? If they can, again, the swagger, the confidence continues.
I haven't seen the starting 11 yet, and I'm not sure we expect it, at least for a couple more minutes here. Is it Jonathan Osorio, the favorite, to slot into that left slide?
I would say it makes sense, yeah. If they go for the 3-4-3 formation, which John Herdman really enjoys, they might go 4-4-2, but Osorio can fit in there, and he's a ball winner. He loves possession. He keeps the ball, and they'll have a lot more possession in this game. We saw against the States 28% possession, be a lot more today. So having someone that can retain possession like Osorio makes a lot of sense out on the left-hand side, so Buchanan remains on the right. That said, in the Gold Cup, we saw Buchanan play a lot on the left-hand side as well. So it's John Herdman. You know, we won't know until we see the starting 11 when it comes out in a few minutes' time, but regardless, it should be a pretty attacking, offensive-looking team, I would think.
And then it could change after 20 minutes, as we saw in the States.
Exactly. You know, this team's versatile. John Herdman loves to mix things up and at the same time, when he makes mistakes, revert back to what was working. So we'll see what happens tonight. You know, they are the better team tonight. You know, they mentioned there before. They're the favorites, almost overwhelming favorites, and they should take 3 points. If it goes wrong anytime, John Herdman will not consider any choice but to make changes, be it, you know, personnel or formation or tactics. But he knows what he likes. He likes 3-4-3. Happy to go 4-4-2 if they have to. And yeah, for the tactician out there, for those formation geeks, it should be a good one to watch.
All right, so earlier in the show, the producers point me to Alphonso Davies' Instagram account. I look at it, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at, and then ripples through social media. They won't realize how big a part you play until you're not there to play it anymore. And is he talking about Canada? Is he talking about Bayern Munich? He has to go to Twitter to issue an apology. Did this, like, what was the kind of the wave that was made at BMO Field? Did people hear about this? Did it go as well as it went in these studios?
It's making the rounds for sure. You know, the golden boy maybe isn't perfect after all. He made a mistake, or was it a scheduled Instagram? Apparently you can schedule the Instagrams, Tim, apparently.
Yes, you can.
So the kids say. But if he didn't, yeah, it was a mistake, and he'll learn from it, of course. Was it a distraction? I'm not so sure about that. Listen, the bottom line was he's got an injury, probably not that serious. You know, if this was a must-win game, I'm sure he would have found a way to start. Didn't look too serious, you know, on Sunday when he came off the field. He was smiling at one point. But it's really important that Canada nurtures this relationship with Bayern Munich and all clubs. You know, club against country is an age-old argument. You know, they don't like each other no matter who the club is, no matter who the country is. So starting him in 2 straight games, would he have started today anyway? I'm not so sure about that. So I think they're just being very careful. But yeah, a little bit embarrassing for Alphonso Davies, but he's a smart kid and he'll learn from it.
That's an important lesson for maybe Canadians who are on the periphery of club and country conversations. Like when Bayern Munich calls and they're paying the bills, a lot of times country has to listen, right?
Yeah, to a certain point. I mean, the country has FIFA behind them. When FIFA delegate these dates, the countries have to release those players unless there's COVID protocols, which we've seen in Europe right now, and the red listed countries. We saw the Brazil-Argentina game, descend into a fiasco on the weekend. But generally speaking, the countries have FIFA behind them. But let's be honest, yes, that the clubs have a lot of power. They can talk to the player and say, hey, you've got a calf injury, by the way. You can't make that trip. And it does happen. It's always happened. But if there's a good relationship between club and country, maybe that'll be less so.
All right, so who do you need to see a big game from without Canada's best player in the lineup?
Well, Jonathan David has been not great in the first two games. Didn't start last game, and he is one of Canada's top 2 or 3 players. We know what he's done at Lille last year. It's been a slow start to the campaign for him. He's got to step it up. They've got to find goals tonight. The offense has been clicking at times, but it hasn't been that great in the final third so far. He is key if he starts tonight, and I'm sure he will start tonight. So that's number one. And I mentioned before, Tajon Buchanan, this kid's something special. He looked really, really good against the States when he came on, having been subbed off at halftime in the first game against Honduras. So if he can stand out and show pace out wide against this El Salvador team that will bunker low, he could be a key contributor.
Feels like a big 3 points from Canada, or for Canada. If they ended this window with 5 points on 3 games, I think that's a success, no?
Oh, I think it is, yeah. I know beforehand people were saying 7 points minimum, but listen, the first game against Honduras are always tough games. You're not quite sure who you are. You're trying to figure out the identity of the team. You get a point in that game. You then go to the States, which most people before this qualifying campaign began thought that's probably going to be a loss against a very good young American team. They got a fantastic point. So if they win tonight, and they should win tonight and get 5 points, that's great. Really, really good start considering they got 2 road games coming up next month. Tough ones against Mexico and Jamaica. So 5 points will put them in the top 3 in qualifying, and that's the most important stat right now, top 3 in qualifying.
Again, for those just joining us, you can see this game, Sportsnet 1, 7:30 Eastern Time. It's Canada and El Salvador. Speaking of the next windows, we haven't exactly heard where they're going to be playing those games. I know they get Mexico in the dead of winter. Any chance Edmonton Commonwealth Stadium is on the list of the short list of stadiums, or are we just going to a dome?
The rumors are Edmonton's definitely in contention to host a game or 2, and I think that's a really great idea. I said before, Timmy, to you that no one wants to play in the cold weather, not even the Canadian players. Yeah. That being said, any edge you can get, you might take it. You go back to that 86 game in Newfoundland, qualifying for that World Cup and how important that was. Times have changed perhaps in some regards, but if you can get a good venue, and Edmonton's got a good, rich football culture, and go back there with the prodigal son, Alphonso Davies, it would be an amazing atmosphere. And certainly some of those other teams wouldn't want to travel there, that's for sure. So yeah, maybe Edmonton, let's hope so.
That's the part of the equation, is Alphonso Davies gets a homecoming game in a Canada jersey. And it might be a little bit cold for some South to Central American squads. I'm good with that. Sharman, thanks for this as always. Enjoy the game tonight.
Thanks, Timmy.